Friends, in 2024, an Irish film was released named The Oddity. The word oddity means a strange thing. This film comes in the genre of horror thriller. You may remember that in the year 2020, also a horror film was released named The Caveat. It was a deep, dark horror film. Well, Caveat was liked by people. An Irish director named Damien McCarthy has made both these films. The secret of the story of the Oddity film is revealed at the end, so the film has to be watched till the end. Maybe you will like its twist. It is a simple story in which only a few elements have been used. The story of the film begins from a village in Ireland. We see a woman named Danny O'Dell who was renovating her house. Danny's husband Ted is a psychiatrist who works in a hospital here. This house was very old and was in such a place where the phone network was also not working properly. Well, for the last few days, Danny was alone trying to fix the house. Then she finds a place in the house where signals were being received. So she calls her husband and talks to him for a while. Before the night falls, she brings some important things from the car to the house, but she forgets her phone there. She had put up her tent near the door and slept there. That very night, someone came to the door, a man named Olin. Olin had an artificial eye, and he had been a patient of Ted earlier, which meant that Olin's mental condition was not good. Olin tells Danny to open the door because his life is in danger. Someone has entered his house. Danny was scared of that man, and she refused to open the door because trusting a stranger was madness. This man named Olin was talking very lovingly. His expressions also showed that he had a friend. He tells Danny that if you don't trust me, then call the police. If you don't do this, then you will be killed. Well, after listening to him, Anne moves towards the door. Now, whether she opened the door or not is not shown to us. But along with this, we are shown another scene in which something killed Olin badly. And after that, we also come to know that Danny was also killed that night. Someone killed him badly. Surely it could be Olin for whom Danny would have opened the door, and Olin was anyway a madman. We have all seen so many movies that we can guess that maybe Olin was under the influence of some evil power, and he killed Dolly, and then the same evil power killed Olin too. But is this the truth? This secret will be revealed in the story ahead. Now we are shown the time after a few months where Ted, i.e., Anne's husband, is running an antique shop. This antique shop is actually owned by Danny's twin sister, Darcy. Darcy was blind from birth, and she was also a psychic. Darcy was very sad about her sister's death. Ted often visited her, although he did not believe in Darcy's strange talks. Darcy claimed that she could feel things that had a relationship with humans. At this time, she had a vine in her hand. She said that it was a part of a boy's life, but one day he died mysteriously. She says that I can feel him through this vine. Ted had actually come to give her something. Darcy had asked Ted for some special thing of Olin's, through which Darcy could know why Olin killed her sister and what he was thinking at that time. Ted hands over his handkerchief to Darcy. During the conversation, Darcy also came to know that Ted is now dating another girl, although her it was not long since her sister had passed away. Darcy does not reveal this, but she must have felt bad. Ted says that her name is Yana, and she used to work in our hospital. Earlier we were just friends, but now I need someone. After this, Ted leaves from there. In the evening, Darcy returns to her home. She had also brought Olin's handkerchief with her. She keeps it on a table. She takes off her gloves and feels something as soon as she touches it. She sees something which frightens her, and tears come to her eyes. Then she goes to her storeroom where there was a big wooden box. Darcy starts looking at it and then sits in front of it. There was some strange stuff lying in this room. The director has also given a reference to his film Caveat here. The next day, Ted wakes up from sleep by showing a rabbit. He was about to go to the hospital after getting ready, but Yana shows him some pictures. This camera is actually a camera. The camera that Yana got was Danny's, and had a time-lapse option set on it so it could take pictures of itself. Last night it took a picture and Danny's shadow was in it, even though he had been dead for a long time. Ted works night shifts, so Yana has to stay alone in that house. This is the same house where Danny died, so she was scared of staying alone. Ted says that she just has to adjust for a few days, but Yana says no. I will stay in my apartment until your shift changes. Ted agrees to this. Yana was going to leave today. Anyway, before Ted leaves for his work, Yana tells him that Darcy has sent a strange gift last night. It was the same wooden box, and they were even more surprised to know that Darcy was standing outside. Anyway, they bring her inside. No one had invited Darcy, but still she came here. She wanted to stay here for a day or two. Yana was not interested in this, but Ted does not refuse, although Yana also had to go and so did Ted. Darcy still wanted to stay here. There was a gift in that wooden box, a very strange doll made of wood which Darcy gave to Ted. Ted tells Yana that as soon as Darcy leaves, I will remove this thing. Just bear with it till then. Ted leaves, and after some time Yana was also about to leave, but her car keys got lost somewhere. She tries a lot to find them, but she does not find them. Darcy was sitting there comfortably, as if she already knows what is going to happen if the keys are not found. Darcy asks Yana, "Are you not going to go now?" Yana is forced to stay. The wooden doll which was in the box was now on a chair of the dining table. Yana asks, "Did you take it out?" Darcy replies, "No, well in the evening." Yana brings some food for Darcy, and then they talk about something. Yana asks Darcy about her work. Yana does not believe it. In fact, she was making fun of her in her heart that Darcy believes in witchcraft like a witch. Darcy asks her how she feels in this house. Yana replies that she does not like anything that happened to her sister. Darcy asks her a question. If a stranger asks you to open the door, will you open it? Yana replies that she is not that stupid. Darcy gets angry on hearing this. She says that her sister was not stupid. She did not open the door. Actually, she was not killed by Olin. This is the work of someone else. Yana asks in surprise that if a madman like Olin did not kill her, then who killed her? Darcy replies that she was killed by Ivan. Ivan was actually a nurse who worked in the same hospital where Olin was a patient, and Ted was a doctor. Yana feels very strange after hearing this. Well, we are shown a scene from the past, of the night when Olin came to Danny's door. It is revealed here that Danny never opened the door. When Olin came to help, Danny was attacked by a masked man who brutally murdered him. Before going to sleep, Yana calls her husband Ted and tells him that Darcy is very strange. She did not go to her apartment because she lost her keys somewhere, and Darcy might have stolen them. Yana says that Darcy claims that her sister Dolly was killed by Ivan, not Olin. Ted calms Yana down and tells her not to think too much and just close the door and go to sleep. But Yana still cannot sleep. She comes out of her room and looks down. Darcy has fallen asleep on the sofa. Yana secretly goes to the wooden statue and starts looking at it to find out what secret is hidden in it. There were 5 holes in the head of the statue. Yana started looking at it. In one hole, she found a picture of Darcy and Danny. In the second, a tooth, and in the third, blood. Yana was about to look further. Then Darcy woke up. She angrily tells Yana to put everything back. Anyway, Yana puts everything back in its place. Here the story becomes a little confusing, because it is not understood whether everything is connected to some deed, some ritual, or there is nothing like that. Nothing has happened so far that seems unusual. Darcy spends the whole night in front of the statue, but Yana was scared. She starts looking at the footage recorded by Danny in her camera. In the footage, she sees a terrifying face, and after this, she also sees Danny's ghost in the corner of the room, which scares her. Yana gets scared in the car. Since she had already found the keys to the hospital, she leaves straight from there. In the hospital, we are shown that Ivan and Dr. Ted are friends, so maybe it could be true that Ivan killed Danny. After coming home, Ted saw that Yana was not there. He went upstairs and found Darcy sitting there, dejected. Ted asks about Yana, and Darcy says that she ran away from here. I wanted to reveal your truth to her, but my sister scared him. Darcy says that it was you who got my sister killed. You fell in love with Yana. You just wanted my sister's property, which she had already transferred to your name. I kept thinking that some mad person killed her, so I took revenge from Olin, but he really wanted to save my sister. I know that you will send someone to kill me, but it would be better if you send that murderer here. But Ted says, how can you even think like this? How did all this come to your mind? If you doubt me, then let's talk to the detective who was working on Diane's case. But Darcy did not believe his words. Ted leaves saying, I am keeping this phone here. I will call him so that he can tell you everything. As soon as the phone is left, you have to pick it up. Saying this, Ted leaves from there, but we are shown a scene where Ted was planning Danny's death with Ivan. Ivan was a mad and crazy person. He enjoyed all this. Ted only cared about money. Ivan killed Danny on Ted's advice. But the question is, where does Olin come in all this? It is true that Olin's mental condition was not good, but apart from this, he was a good person. He was not a murderer. He did not listen to Ted and Ivan's words. He had heard it, and that is why he went to save Danny that night. But Danny did not believe him, and that is why she was killed. But one secret is still not revealed. Who killed Olin? Yes, Darcy did say this, but how did she go to a closed room in the hospital because she was blind? This secret will also be revealed. While leaving, Ted had taken out a tile from the floor, so that as soon as Darcy moves forward to pick up the phone, she falls down, and this is what happens. After going to the hospital, Ted assigns Ivan the task of killing Danny's sister Darcy as well. Ivan happily agrees to this. Ted had already dialed the call on his phone. As soon as Darcy moves forward to pick up the phone, she falls down. When Ivan reaches there, his eyes first fall on that wooden doll, and then on Darcy, who is badly injured. Due to excessive bleeding, Darcy dies soon. But here a new twist comes up because in this film, supernatural things also happen. Darcy already knew about her death. Her sacrifice leads to a great loss. The ritual is completed and the wooden doll suddenly comes alive and attacks Ivan. When Ivan wakes up, he is tied to a hospital bed. Ted is standing in front of him. Ted blames Ivan for Darcy's murder. Ivan pleads that he will not tell anyone anything and just leave him alone. But Ted says that the doubt will fall on me, that why I could not recognize a mad person like you, and who will believe you, that a wooden doll came alive and attacked you. Ted was a deceptive man who used people very cleverly. He used everyone, even his wife Danny. Well, now Darcy is also dead, but she punished her enemy. She could have killed Ivan, but she did not do so. She kept him in captivity. When Ivan was a nurse, he abused many patients. All this was not shown directly in the film, but it can be guessed from where. In the end, a patient cuts Ivan's finger to take his revenge. At the end of the film, Ted comes to his house. He picks up the bell about which Darcy had told a story. He rings it, but nothing happens. This makes him understand that perhaps there is nothing like supernatural. That is, even Darcy left Ted. Perhaps Darcy was successful in her revenge, that is, by ruining Ted's life. But in the end, we are shown a bellboy near Ted, and the film ends here. Friends, the deep meaning of the film highlights the dark side of human nature, deception, and the desire for revenge. Darcy's story shows how grief and revenge can force a person to take dangerous steps. This film also shows how supernatural elements and human emotions combine to force a person to draw a line between reality and deception. Where is the limit? We hope you liked our video.